All right, we are back. Episode something of plotting.
One day we're going to find out what episode we're on.
Doubt it. All right, so this is the show where we try to figure out what's going on in a movie based on its title, and then we see how close we get. I haven't seen any of these. I don't know what's coming at me, but you've selected something good for us here.
I have.
So we're gonna break it down. So we're gonna do initial impressions first. We're gonna add something new here. We're gonna do initial impressions. I'm gonna give you my initial impression of the title. All right, so what's the title?
Oh, okay. I like this. I like where this is going.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want any of the background that I normally give you, or just the title?
I just want the title.
Okay, cool. Peppermint.
Hate it. Hate everything about this title. Don't love it. This could be a dog. This could be a love story. This could be a child's movie. This could be an animated film for children about an actual peppermint stick. This could be the name of like a princess. I don't like this movie. It could be too many things. It's not descriptive enough. I hate everything about it.
Yes. So I picked this one because it is trending on Netflix as number 4 movie in the U.S. today. It is a movie from 2018.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. So a movie from
That's
2018.
That's like all I have. Yeah.
And I'm going to have to figure out what peppermint. Oh,
yes.
God, dear Christ. All right. So I'm going to guess this is not like Domino, which is a movie about a female assassin. So I'm going to guess this is not that. I'm going to guess if it's today, we're in December. So I'm thinking that it's peppermint. So it's going to be winter themed here, something like that. I'm going to guess that it is in fact about, it's trending. I'm going to say it's about a woman who is named Peppermint. Her name is going to be, okay. Her name is going to be Peppermint.
Okay.
And
what kind of woman is she?
A human woman. She'd be a human woman. And she's going to be...
Are you stumped a little bit for the first time?
I literally have no idea. Like, I'm grasping at straws. I literally have no idea. Like, even though I just said what I just said, and I like decided in my head, immediately I regretted it. I immediately think that her dog is named Peppermint or something, or it's about a dog maybe. Like, immediately I hate everything about it. I hate this film. I hate this title. I hate everything that's happening right now. This was a terrible time to introduce this game. So I'm gonna say
I like died a little when you did it. I was like, cool.
I'm gonna say
cool. This is like putting you in the hot seat. Today's the best day of my entire life.
This is definitely. I mean, this is it. Like, this is
it's
real.
I know for sure it's about to get better too.
Jesus.
All right, I just want to let you know.
All right, so this is real, right? Like, again, I literally I've never heard any of these things. Like, you pick stuff, I don't know. Like, I've never seen it. I don't know this one.
I intentionally pick things I figured you've never seen before. However, I kind of thought you may have seen this one. Just that's a hint.
All right, so with that, I'm going to say it's not about a dog. I don't watch a lot of dog-related cinema. So I'm going to say it's not about her dog named Pepper. So now I feel better about that. It's a human woman named Peppermint. I'm going to assume it's not Peppermint Patty, who is...
It's not animated either.
Yeah, right. Like I said, it's not Peppermint Patty. She's Charlie Brown, right? That's the girl. Is that Patty? Peppermint Patty? She's Charlie Brown? I think so. I don't know.
Peppermint Patty Valentine is Charlie Brown, I believe. Peppermint Patty is like a whole actual peppermint lady, like little character. It's like a whole nother series, I'm pretty sure.
All right, I have no idea. It's very possible.
Okay, you went down that hole.
I'm not good with Peppermint. I'm gonna say it's a lady. It's a human woman. It's a holiday themed film. She's gonna learn. I'm gonna say it's a take on. It's her. It's gonna
Peppermint
be a
Patty is Charlie Brown.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so it's gonna be a take on the Ghost of Christmas Carol. It's gonna be a take on the Christmas Carol with a woman named Peppermint, and all 3 of the ghosts are going to be telling her about different dogs that she's had named Peppermint. That's what I think's gonna happen. She names the dogs after herself. That's what I think's gonna happen. I literally have no idea. Like I mean,
Okay.
I have no shot. Other than it's like there's probably a scene with an ice skater in it at some point, or like an ice skating rink. I literally have no idea. Like this is completely foreign to me. I have
Are you
no. This is
ready to
no
hear
help.
what it's about? Because I
Yes, I
can't
am.
wait.
Yes, I am.
Peppermint is about after her family is murdered, a mild-mannered mom remakes herself into a badass vigilante in order to exact violent justice.
No! Damn it! I should have gone with Domino. That's a ripoff. It's a ripoff of Domino. Actually, this is a
You
ripoff
were
of.
like, you should have,
Oh my
if
god!
you had been looking at the
Oh my god!
screen
I was so
when you
close.
said that, you
I
would
was
have
so
known you were
close.
right. But because you were so in your
Oh,
own head and
damn
you know,
it!
you weren't paying attention, you didn't pick up on the very unsubtle cues I was giving you. Yes, I cannot believe
Oh,
you brought up
god damn
Domino.
it!
When you said Domino, I thought you were going to nail this with just Peppermint, and I died. And then when you went off of it, I was like, my day just got exponentially
Oh
better
my god!
than anything else. You
I
were
was so right.
so
I
close.
had it. It's Domino. This is a ripoff. It's a ripoff of Domino. Actually, this is actually not a ripoff of Domino. The title is a ripoff of Domino. This is actually a ripoff of the Bruce Willis movie, which is actually a ripoff of the 4 or 5 movies that they made back in the 70s. And right now I'm blanking on the name. And so anybody who's watching this is probably screaming at me like that they know the name.
They were screaming at you when you said Domino too.
I'm sure they were. So this is actually a ripoff of that, right? Where he becomes like his family gets murdered, and then he becomes a vigilante, and he goes out and he murders the people and whatever. Like that's what this is. I mean, it's just a female version of that, right?
The only like preview, like I haven't seen this movie either. I like to pick movies I haven't seen, so we don't get spoilers out. Like none of it's spoilers. This is all inferred stuff that I like tell you afterwards as well. The one scene that they have on Netflix is about how she stole a bunch of ammunition on the 5-year anniversary of her family's death, which was December 21st, which I'm assuming is how they got Peppermint. Like there's, you know, something with Christmas time and like her pattern. So they say that she's back in LA and she murdered the men that killed her family on the 5-year anniversary. And that's all I had to go off of. But I just think it's hilarious that you came this close.
Honestly, I think actually my grandpa died on December 21st. But he just died. Like he just, you know, like
he wasn't murdered.
He wasn't murdered. He just died.
And who do you like? What's your guess for the lead?
Oh, I don't know. They're really bad at doing this because like there's sometimes, you know, like I mean, it would be like putting me with like at the front lines, like with a machine gun, you know, and you just look at it, you'd be like, I don't buy it, you know, like this guy doesn't look like he can handle himself, you know, like that's basically what it would be if you put me out there. They don't usually do a very good job with this. Like Hollywood, they seem to have trouble. I don't know, like they seem to have trouble. Like some women can carry themselves that way, other women can't. But they seem to have trouble like kind of really nailing this casting on a consistent basis. And so I'm going to say, I have no idea, but this is Netflix. And so I'm thinking that maybe they went kind of high budget here. I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't even have a guess. I honestly don't know. I'm going to say it's a younger, well, no, I guess if she's married, she's got to be a little bit older. She's going to be like in her 30s, something like that. And it's the 5-year. Does she have a kid in the thing? Does she have a kid?
Yeah, I think it's like a family. It said her family was killed.
So she's gonna be like mid-30s.
I don't
she's gonna be like
really
mid-30s,
know.
40s, something like that. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So it's not gonna be like a young. So this isn't gonna be like a you know, somebody young, kind of up and coming. So she's got to be a little bit older here. But see, like it can't be like a Kristen Bell, right? Like, because I'm just not gonna buy Kristen Bell like doing it. You know what I mean? Like just flat out, like I just won't buy.
No, it's not Kristen Bell,
but she's got to be like kind of around that age, right? Kind of around like that sort of
yes,
like that sort of thing. Honestly, Kristen Bell seems too nice. You know what I mean? She'd probably be like, I get it.
That would be the kind of person like
I'm with you. You know, but like
although
I need somebody
Kristen
like an
Bell
angry
played
Kristen
a very
Bell.
convincing like Veronica Mars, but that was more like sarcastic, and her vigilante stuff was not violent.
Right? No. Again,
like she pulled that off.
I mean, like,
but I just don't
this.
see her opening up.
Right. Like if you
automatic weapon on a bunch of people.
If you were to be a vigilante, like if you turn into a vigilante, you have to murder people. Like you have to have a screw loose. Like people who murder people have a screw loose. you know? And people just automatically, they're just like, oh, well, this person could play like kind of a badass or whatever. And I'm like, no. Not just anybody can. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys who you would put a gun in their hand and you'd be like, nope, absolutely not. Like, I do not buy this, right? Because you have to have just a little something off, right? Like, you have to look, you have to see and be like, hey, you know what? I think this guy could pull the trigger, right? Like, I think this dude might be able to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? That's why, like, there's a movie with who's Brian Gosling. I think it's called Drive. You know, and he kind of plays this like badass, kind of like vigilante or whatever. And like, I watched it, I hated it. I didn't love it at all because I look at it and I'm like, absolutely not. Like, this dude is not a vigilante. Yeah. Like, he's too handsome. Like, he's just not gonna be a vigilante. You know, like he just won't. He doesn't have the screw loose. Like, he doesn't have the little thing in his head that tells you like this guy's like a little crazy. He might kill me. Yeah. You know. That's the thing, you know, like you have to find somebody, and that's not a male female thing. That's a human thing, right? Like humans who murder people got a little something wrong. So you have to see that in their eyes. Like you have to see them, you know, do whatever. And that's the thing, like Bruce Willis, right? Like Bruce Willis gets the thing. He was a little old to do the thing or whatever, but fine. He gets in the role. You see him, and you're like, all right, I kind of get it. Like, yeah, he's got a little something. There's a little something in his eye where you're like, yeah, this guy.
Yeah, and he's played right? You know several different roles like that convincingly.
Because he did it, and then you were like, all right, I get it. That makes sense, right? And so, like, that's the thing, right? So you have to have a woman who you see, and you're like, yeah, she's crazy enough to like be a vigilante, right? And so I'm gonna guess, man, I literally have no idea. I don't even know who you would get. Honestly, I hope it's Natalie Portman because I love Natalie Portman. She's my favorite actress.
She can definitely pull off that.
She could be a little crazy, but I don't know if she could be a vigilante. I think she could be like somebody who would be like in battle maybe, but I'm not sure I could buy her like being crazy because she just seems kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like she seems like kind of rational. You know, like every time I've seen her, she just always seems rational to me. You know, and so like she's pretty smart. She would really have to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, but I mean, again, like look, like. Charlize, she did Monster, whatever. Like she didn't even look the same. She went crazy, all that stuff. She, so like people can do it. People can surprise you. I'm just saying, like my first instincts, again, and this would be like, if somebody put a gun in your hand, you know what I mean? Like I'd look at it and be like, I don't think she has the stones. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
But again, it'd be the same thing with me. Like you put me in an action movie and you'd be like, no, this guy's obviously running away. Like there's zero chance that this dude's gonna be standing in the front line dating other human beings. These guys be throwing people in front of him, whatever. Like this is not
he's gonna be sacrificing the men or the women and children.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's the thing where you got to be real careful with the casting, right? Like you have to be careful with the casting.
At this point, I'm genuinely curious how you're going to view this casting because this actress has played roles similar before in different movies.
Okay.
But I still don't see her it's Jennifer Garner. So
hate it. No, absolutely not. Absolutely nope.
But she's not mean enough.
Nope. Absolutely nope. Absolutely not. Nope. I hate Jennifer Garner in roles like this. They try to do it with her. I think it's a mistake. She is absolutely not somebody that I believe is crazy enough to be a vigilante. She's a good actress. Don't get me wrong. She's a good actress in like a divorce movie. Like she'd be a great like divorcee who's like trying to figure out her life for the first time and like having to understand like what life's going to be like as a single person and how do I make my life over and like all those things. Yeah, she'd be fantastic in that. Absolutely not is she somebody in this. She's not Elektra. She was bad in that. It was a terrible movie. No, I hate this casting. I do not like that. She was in some movie.
Actually be a nicer person than Kristen Bell.
Oh, 100%. No, she's like super nice, right? And like even
genuinely seems
even post-divorce, right? Like she didn't even go crazy. Like if she had gone crazy during the divorce, you know what I mean? Like if she like started tweeting out, like if she was just throwing shade at Ben, like when he was in rehab for like the 15th time or whatever, if she was like, she like, she put like a picture on Instagram, and she was like this, she had like the phantom thing, like with the kids in front of her, in front of like a Christmas tree or something. And she's like, oh, so much happier this year or something, I'd be like, all right, she could be a vigilante. You know what I mean? Like that's a crazy woman. You know what I mean? But she was like, no, we're like super supportive and we just wanted to be healthy and where the kids are here and like all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not somebody who's going to go nuts.
She cheated and she was still 100%. Really nice.
Yeah, she was like, life happens, whatever.
Like legislation in California to protect children's rights from the paparazzi. Like that's like what she said. Even after her kids got older, they're like, she spent time doing that for other people. She has a natural organic food line that is made to be affordable, so it's sold at Walmart and other, like, she's just not a mean person.
No, she can't be. I don't believe it. There was a movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but there was a movie where it was her and like 3 other women who were there. It was something like their husbands. They were all in the military or something like that, and their husbands had gone out on this mission or whatever, and it was like a sci-fi thing, and they went through this like bubble kind of thing, if you will. And when you go through the bubble, like there's monsters and shit like that on the other end. And so, and the movie was these like these people never came back, and so these 4 women were going to go, right? Like these 4 women were going to go in, they were going to save their husbands or whoever it was, some guys who went over there. So they were going to go save them, right? Because this was like the other world, it's like aliens and shit like that.
Okay.
And there's a scene where she's like standing there on like a watchtower with a fucking machine gun. And the second I saw that, like, she's in fatigues and she's standing there, she's got like her fucking ponytail and all this shit or whatever. She's holding like this machine gun, and I was like, I just don't believe it. I funded it. Like, you look like you are uncomfortable holding this weapon. I don't believe. I'm not even sure that you can handle the kickback. Like, forget whether you hit a target. I'm not sure you can handle the kickback. I think it's going to rip your arm off. Like, she was. Yeah. It was terrible. It was terrible casting. I still think it's terrible casting. I think this is an awful idea. I think this was a mistake. I think Netflix blew this one. I am not going to watch it because of this, but it is interesting. What's your take on somebody waiting 5 years to get revenge? I think that's too long. I think it's too long to wait to get revenge.
It seems like she was killing other people in the interim. Like, she didn't just
she was learning. She was like learning how.
So I don't really know, but the way that the preview was set up was like, oh, she's been overseas doing shit, now she's coming home. So I think she was working her skills up to figure out to make sure she could actually kill the people she wanted to. See, like, that it was not going to be a failed attempt.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, that premise, right? Like if you didn't know anything about this movie, if I just told you the premise of woman's family gets killed, she goes overseas, spends 5 years learning how to be an assassin, and now she's back, and she's going to take everybody out. Boom, you got me, right? You got me. Like, that's a great premise. It's very simple. It's very self-explanatory. Like, it makes perfect sense. Like, why would this happen? All that makes sense. The casting blows it, you know? Like, it would literally be like, let's have Steve Carell be this assassin. Immediately, I'd be like, absolutely not. Michael Scott is absolutely not going to murder people. Like, whatever. And by the way, in the whatever the wrestling movie was, forget the name of it or whatever, about the dude who like molested the kids at the wrestling camp or whatever. Like, Steve Carell was in that. He was great. He was great in that. Like, yeah, he could be deranged, but he's not a killer, right? Like, he's not somebody who's going to shoot somebody. He's not a stone cold killer. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I kind of was thinking about, as you were talking about, it's kind of like Jennifer. I like Jennifer Garner in Dallas Buyers Club. She wasn't wholesome necessarily, but she wasn't going to kill someone. Yeah. You know, like, she pulled that off. Like, that's a more serious role. It's not catch and release. It's not 13 going on 30. It's a different role, but 100%. Like, it was believable. Like,
she was great.
It was cast correctly.
Yeah, this is think about who has to be in this, right? Like, you have to have a female Jason Statham in this. You know what I mean? Like, it actually has to be somebody that you look at and you're like, yeah, this person's fucking nuts. And they could take another human's life, right? Like, somebody who is nuts, you know? Like, the reason Rambo works, right? Which is I mean, it's not the same story, but like, that's the kind of thing, right? Not the first Rambo, that had like actual stuff, like Rambo 2, 3, 4, 5, like all of those things. It's just him murdering people. I mean, it's just Sylvester Stallone murdering people. But when you look at Sylvester Stallone, you know, you're like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, this dude definitely could kill some people. Not because he's big, right? But like, you look at it and you're like, yeah, no, I understand, because he looks nuts, right? Like, he looks like he could actually haul off and kill someone, right? Kind of the same thing, like, like you get like a Will Smith on like I Am Legend, right? And you're like, yeah, okay, I can see it. Like, he's trying to survive or whatever, but he's killing people to survive, right? Like, I honestly don't think I could see Will Smith be like, even though he's a great actor, he could do a lot of stuff. I don't think I see Will Smith as like, yeah, this guy could be an assassin. Like, that's not the first thing I think of. You know what I mean? Like, I don't immediately see him and be like, yes, he could do that, you know? But like, Keanu Reeves and John Wick, you know? Like, you see it. Like, I love John Wick. But you look at that and you're like, it's kind of funny because it's sort of ironic. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of it's almost like you don't really believe that he could kill people, but then he's doing it, and you're like, okay, yeah, like I'm in because I support like what he's doing and like all those things. It's very important that you get the casting right, and they blew it with this. Absolutely blew it. Like, this is a terrible idea. Jennifer Garner is not somebody who could be an assassin. She's just not. I don't know what to tell you. Some people can't play those roles. You know what I mean? Like there's some roles that you just can't play. She cannot play this role. That's a terrible idea. I think they blew it. I think they should have given it to somebody else. I'm trying to think. Like I can't really think of.
I'm trying to think of an actress
right
that but I mean, your example of Charlize Theron in Monster is like a really good one. Like,
absolutely,
she changed,
something
but
like that.
she, or I think someone who this was also came to mind is Scarlett Johansson. I'm not saying she necessarily can, but I think she pulls off like the super, like, Jennifer Garner did Elektra, and it's not as convincing. I think Scarlett Johansson has a little bit more something that gives you that vibe as being like Black Widow, that she pulls off that character a little bit more convincing.
I kind of have a problem with Scarlett Johansson too, only because like she just seems too nice to me. Like, again, it's kind of the same thing. Like, she just seems too nice.
I guess
but I will say this: as Black Widow, I don't believe she could kill anybody.
Okay.
I do believe that she could kick some dudes in the face, which is basically what she does. She just spends every time she's on screen, she just kicks a bunch of dudes right in the face.
Like, distinction, but like very valid for like the conversation.
But I don't believe that she can kill someone. Again, like, that's a real thing. Like people say that this is not a man-woman thing. There are a bunch of dudes who you would put in that role, and I'd be like, nope, absolutely not. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, I fundamentally don't believe it.
One of the ones I was thinking of is Ryan. What's his name? He was Jim in The Office, and he's played a couple military roles.
No, Jim. His name's not Ryan.
What's his name?
Like you say, Jim from The Office? His name's not Ryan.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know. Can't remember. I don't think it was Ryan. But no, him.
I'm gonna look it up.
No, not really. I can see it on like Desperation.
John. His name is John.
John Krasinski.
Oh. Yeah. But like, he's not believable in a lot of those roles that he has. Honestly, like, he worked out.
Honestly,
he's changed his mind. But what is
maybe? Well, first of all, I love Jennifer Garner in the movie with Jamie Foxx where they go over to It's called The Kingdom. They go over to Saudi Arabia and they see some stuff. Like, she's great in that role, and she's kind of a badass in that role. But they do a good job in there of like making sure that she's not like a superhero. But honestly, Emily Blunt might not have been the worst casting of this role.
Oh,
She might not have been the worst. I don't know that she can pull it off, because again, this is murdering people. Like, this is another level. Like, you have to actually murder another human being, right? But Emily Blunt was pretty good in Sicario. She was pretty good in Sicario. I think if she turned it up just another notch, like one more notch, I could probably see her turning into an assassin. She might not be terrible. But again, this is a very fine line to hit, right? Like, you either have to basically look like Danny Trejo, and you're like, well, this guy's obviously like been in prison, or you have to look crazy. But this is a very difficult thing to do. And so I hate that it's Jennifer Garner. I think that is a mistake.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's hard
a hard
to do.
role to figure out, because you do have to have someone who is convincing that they would be fine having had a family their entire life until someone wiped out their family. Like, it has to be someone like Emily Blunt is a great choice because she looks wholesome, but she still has far more like edge to her than Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, a little something you're like, all right, she's probably kind of crazy.
Some of her acting roles have been a little complex. Like, even in rom-coms, she's been cast more as like a sarcastic.
You know who might be interesting? It's a little off the wall. I don't know that she could do it. I honestly don't know that she could do it, only because she's just small. And when I say that, like, it kind of depends on how she would take people out. Like, I would not believe her going in and just like punching a bunch of dudes in the face. But
I mean, if she had a bunch of if she was stealing a bunch of machine guns,
right. That's a different thing. Anne Hathaway. It might be interesting if she could turn it up and go to where like Charlize Theron went in Monster. If she could do a Monster version, and it was just her shooting people. Again, she's too skinny to like punch people in the face. That's life. I don't know. Like, she weighs like 112 pounds. Like, she couldn't actually knock a bunch of dudes out. I don't think. Like, I don't think I'd visually believe that. But I honestly think Anne Hathaway might be able to pull that off. if she could tap into like a monster type thing where it was like she's kind of crazy, because there's something about her, but like behind her eyes, I'm always kind of like, this woman seems like there's something more going on. You know what I mean? Like there's something
and
brewing in the
she's
bag.
played some like dynamic roles too.
Yeah. So she might be able to do it, right? Like she might be able to do it. But if you put like Jennifer Aniston in there or something like that, like, I mean, look, like I love Jennifer Aniston, but I wouldn't look at Jennifer Aniston and be like, yep, I get it. Yep, she's an assassin. And she knows that. So she doesn't try and play those roles, right? Like she's not like trying to do that sort of thing. So no, this is a mistake. This is absolutely a mistake. Terrible idea by Netflix. Bad job by you. I'm giving this 2 thumbs down.
I don't think it was a Netflix original. I just think it's on Netflix and it's trending.
Okay. Well, bad job by the other people.
I don't actually know, but it doesn't seem like it's a Netflix one.
Bad job by the other people then. Whoever did that, Universal, I don't know who, Sony, whoever it was that casted this. Bad job by you. Terrible idea. Don't put Jennifer Garner in these types of roles. She's not crazy enough to do it. Let her cook doing other stuff. She's great in other roles. She's not good in this. That's life. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm just here to give you my opinion. I think it's it's the right opinion. I don't like this. I don't like Peppermint. I'm not a fan. I don't like the title. I hate the title. I hate the casting. I hate everything about this movie. This 2 thumbs down. It might be the worst movie we've ever done.
I probably would give it 1 thumbs up. I'm definitely interested in watching it.
1 thumbs up? Oh my God.
I love Jennifer Garner. I love Alias, and I don't care.
Did you believe her as Elektra? Did you see Elektra and you were like, yeah, okay, she's Elektra?
I haven't. I honestly don't. Like, I saw Elektra when it first came out. So, I mean, I have fond memories of her, but I haven't seen it recently where I could even remember what it was about.
You're being too nice. Like everybody's too nice.
I know. I'm always too nice. I get it. It's a flaw to be nice to other people. I would not kill people so soon.
Accurate. It's definitely a flaw.
I'm starting to believe that you would kill people and you have more in common with Bruce Willis than just your hairstyle.
Oh, that was good. I like that. I'm not even.
I was gonna burn it earlier, but you know what? I'm glad I did.
I was smart. I like that. Well played. We do have the same hairstyle. I wish I had the same bank account as him. So we're going to leave it there because that was it. That was the knockout punch. I got knocked out, lost this one. That's it. That's what we did here. That was another episode.
This is like just the best day ever. First, you bring out the title thing and a tricky title. You almost nail a really obscure title and you don't. And then I get the knockout punch. Today's delicious.
I don't like it. I hate everything about it. We might burn this episode. Very possible. This won't ever see the light of day. All right.
Constant replay.
We have an email address that people can email to us, give us ideas for other movies that we can do.
Absolutely.
And what's the email? The email is?
The email is info.plotting@gmail.com. Send us an email or leave in the comments. I'd also, if other people have ideas of what actors would be better, I'd love to hear this because this is not the first time
that's a good point.
We've had this conversation before. So this is always this is one we like to talk about for those tricky roles. So
yeah. But I will say I don't want to hear anything about why Jennifer Garner is the right choice for this. I think it's a mistake. Don't send that because I don't care. I'm not going to read it, so I don't really give a shit.
I mean, you're not going to read it anyway, and I will not read those to you apparently because I don't want to deal with hearing this again. So
accurate. So don't even try because I literally don't. I don't care enough to even respond to you. So I'm not even going to hear about it. So you can say that opinion. That's fine. I don't care. It's the wrong choice. It's an absolute disaster. All right. So thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Maybe send me some money or something so I can do this full time. Whatever. Support the shows out there.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, hit him up.
Yeah. So, support the show, whatever, send us cash apparently. Cause I don't know how any of that other stuff, I don't know how you actually support the show, but, whatever that is, we'll figure that out hopefully. But I'd like to make this, something that we can do full time and not have to, get up and work and stuff like that. So, but either way, let us know, definitely, hit us up, leave a comment, all that stuff. And, we will talk to everybody next time.